Hello guys, Ferry here, and welcome to a brand new series of this channel called Transportation News. We'll be talking about topics such as ferry systems in the Northwest, mainly in the Pacific Northwest, and also airlines around the world and railroads in North America and maybe even Europe. So let's get started with our first story, which is the retirement for the Virgin Atlantic Boeing 747-400 aircraft. As of a few days ago, Virgin Atlantic has ordered all Boeing 747-400s to be retired. This is not the first case of an airline having to retire aircraft due to COVID-19. Last month, KLM and Qantas have retired all Boeing 747s due to COVID-19. And American Airlines last month has also retired all Boeing 767-300s, Boeing 757-200s, older 737-800s, and Embraer 190s. Delta Airlines is thinking on actually retiring their McDonnell Douglas MD-88s and MD-90s by next month and having them all scrapped by the end of the year. Virgin Atlantic has also retired all their Airbus A340-600s due to COVID-19. For our next topic, for the ferry section of this, our number one story is the Elwha's retirement. As of April 1st, 2020, Governor Jay Inslee has signed a supplemental transportation bill, where part of this was to retire the Elwha, since the Elwha needs $10 million in new steel and millions of other dollars of other repairs, and deciding to build a brand new vessel, which will be much cheaper than repairing the Elwha and will be much cheaper to operate than operating the Elwha. Due to this, the Chelan is the only ferry in the Washington State Ferry fleet to have SOLA standards, which is the only vessel, it's the only vessel that could operate between Anacortes and Sydney, BC. For now, Washington State Ferry is looking for candidates to retrofit to replace the Elwha. And the number one candidate is the Suquamish, with its Tier 4 emission standards. Since the run from Anacortes to Sydney is currently outside range of a hybrid vessel, so the Suquamish is most likely could be retrofitted to have SOLA standards and could operate on this route. On other news, the Queen of Oak Bay broke down before departing out of Departure Bay, canceling many sailings. And for more BC ferry news, the Queen of Vancouver had a hard landing when it was trying to land at Tsawwassen Ferry Terminal. The ferry was taken out of service for 10 days. And now the vessel as of today, has been officially returned to service. But the berth at Tsawwassen is still closed for repairs. For Alaska ferries, there is good and bad news. For the good news is the governor has signed a $66.7 million bill to fund the Alaska ferries. Bad news is due to the coronavirus pandemic, which is leading more and more cancellations and delays for the Alaska ferries Bellingham route. For railroad news, Amtrak has been storing many more locomotives and cutting many more train round trips, including on intercity trains such as the Cascades, Pacific Surfliner, San Joaquin, Capital Corridor, the Downeastern, and many other routes in the Midwest, and of course the Northeast Regional and Acela train trips. Because of this, Downeastern NPCUs have been seen being towed onto Capital Limited trains and being towed to the Amtrak's Washington, D.C. yard for storage. This has also been seen as Acela train sets have been being towed by Amtrak switchers to Amtrak yards all over the Northeast Corridor. This is going to wrap up. This is going to be the end for the first episode of transportation news. This is my first time doing it, so of course there was a little here and there of me messing up. But I'm really hopefully going to be able to get more episodes running. I want to at least have an episode once a month. So see you next time on the next transportation news. I'm Ferry Guy 2. Have a nice day.